Earlier in the show, I spoke to MARTA Assistant General Manager of Planning, Ben Limmer, about what his agency is doing to boost ridership and make transit more appealing. Atlanta City Councilman Dickens talked about transit expansion that's equitable for all residents. And that brings us to a major component of the city's transportation system, for which many have high expectations. I want to go back to the BeltLine. You'd mentioned the BeltLine, Councilman Dickens. There's some talk about whether there should be some form of transit along that 22-mile route. What are your constituents telling you, or other city council members as well?
Yeah, most people, if not all people, would love to have some sort of transit along the BeltLine. And it was created to be a transit corridor. Right now, it's a lot of jogging and walking and skateboarding and there are other things on it, which is lovely and great. But it's also meant to be a way to connect people along this 22-mile loop, 45 neighborhoods being connected, and people being able to get to schools. 20 schools are on the BeltLine. So imagine kids not having to get on the school bus. So clearly, we would love for there to be rapid transit of some type along the BeltLine. $2.5 billion won't do it. So anybody that's advertising that is a little bit ahead of the curve because we don't have enough money to complete the full loop. We haven't even bought all of the full BeltLine loop. So more money, more negotiations for that. But that is the hope. We would love to be able to get to that point where that's done. And we can start it now.
Where would the money come from, that extra money that's needed?
So we would love for federal partners to participate. You know, we could get some from the federal government, from state. The sales tax gets us to $2.5 billion. We would maybe do a bond for it. But of course, there's other things that are competing interests that we also want to do. We want to be able to get to like Hamilton Road, northwest corridors, and out east. So it's all important. We all want to do it. And remember, we're just talking about the city of Atlanta.
Right.
A lot of the traffic that we see in the city, you see tags from all over the metro region. Atlanta is only 10% or less than 10% of the metro region. So we would love for other partners outside of the city of Atlanta to contribute to this, rapid transit need.
And to that point, with the time that we have left, I do want to touch on Gwinnett. The commissioners approved the referendum. Now it goes to voters and also to the MARTA board. This transit plan to expand MARTA to Gwinnett. What's MARTA expected to do, looking at what Gwinnett wants to do?
The next step is for the MARTA board to consider the contract at their September meeting. After that, heading towards a March or spring of 2019 vote. And included in that plan is a variety of bus service throughout the whole county, as well as a heavy rail extension to Jimmy Carter Boulevard.
Certainly necessary. But thank you for both being here with us. That's all the time we have right now, but it's certainly something we'll be talking about for months and probably years to come. So thank you very much.
Great, thank you.